You be quiet.
Pointing in the wrong direction. How's that? Is that better?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, just get it pointed in the right direction.
No.
Hey, Jim. You need a seat?
Today, we're going to have Jim Kelly do the inspiration and pledge.
Yeah.
You may not believe this, but there was a time in my life where I was a Sunday school teacher. A very inspiring time. And I had usually over 20 8-year-old kids in my class. Quite a long time. What I'm going to do today, I tried to make it inspirational to the kids as they did to me, and I tried to make it fun. I wrote a rap song. And we practiced this starting around Thanksgiving. And this is, it was written with apologies to Isaiah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Clement C. Moore. You may not know who Clement C. Moore was, but 100 years ago, he wrote and published a book called The Night Before Christmas. The title of this rap song was The Night Before the First Christmas. And I'll get it, got a beat to it. It's not really a song, it's more of a poem with a beat. It was the night before the first Christmas, and throughout old Bethlehem, all the critters were a-stirring, because there was no room at the inn. This may seem insignificant, but as you're sure to see, was really quite a combo of history and prophecy. Years before there was a prophet, Isaiah he was called, who to troubled folks around him, he brought faith to young and old. He foretold God's divine solution on earth to have a son, to bring teachings of love to all and how to gain salvation. But later there was Mary, to whom God was to call. Through Gabriel, the heavenly angel, she was told of her future role. To be the mother of God's Son, she should prepare to be. With Joseph, they would bring him up, the Messiah he would be. Then later, Caesar Augustus proclaimed to everyone a new tax act would be enforced and it would not exempt anyone. All people would report to their hometown to roll for tax purposes. No matter how far or hard the journey, there would be no excuses. The trip was long for Mary and Joseph. Everyone paid the toll. And when they got to Bethlehem, my, what a crowd. There was no room anywhere at all. The inn was full. There was no place to go. Joseph needed to act quite fast. A barn out and back with some hay in a trough. A shelter found at last. It was now the night before the first Christmas, and in a barn at the back of the inn, Joseph and a very pregnant Mary were preparing just for him. He came that night in a humble way. A strange setting surrounded his birth. But he was now here, and all can celebrate the Son of God on earth. In the hills outside of Bethlehem town, the shepherds awoke with fright. Over the town they saw a great star which almost made day out of night. An angel suddenly appeared out of nowhere and then proclaimed to them, "The Son of God is born tonight, peace on earth and goodwill to all men." The story continues, and we're told there's a whole lot more to say. But we're out of time, and others can tell you, so we'll close up for today. To finish, we want to give you all a final message, if we may. Thank you for listening to our story. Merry Christmas and have a good day. Join me in the pledge. I won't see the flag go anywhere.
Use the tree.
Yeah, we can.
Red, white, and blue.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's all right out there.
Me too. Good job, Jim. That was great.
Well, that was very inspiring. I have not heard, but I'm really good. Today, I want to thank Bob Larson for being our greeter today. That is really good. Today, we have several guests. Bob, you want to start with your guest?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I keep an eye out for good prospective Rotarians, and I found one.
Yeah.
So this is Brian Freevert. Brian sings with me in the Cherry Creek Chorale.
Another member from the choir.
Yeah, and maybe we can, if he joins our club, maybe we can recruit him to help with the show next year. But I've known Brian for, I don't know, what, 6, 7 years now. Yeah. I spotted him and I started thinking, you know, he'd be a Rotarian. So he's interested in possibly learning about our club here, and you can maybe introduce yourself a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I've been retired about 5 years. Prior to that, I was a CPA with Reuben Brown, firm downtown Denver. And I was with the predecessor. It used to be called Saltzman, Ham, and Nelson Massaro, mouthful. And so I was there here in Denver since 1994. So quite a while. Did a lot of taxes and financial planning for companies. That's my background. I have a wife. They have 3 children. Sorry, I get emotional about this. I have a new granddaughter.
Congratulations. It's great to have you here. Maybe you'll come back.
We've got a great concert this Friday and Saturday night at Bethany Lutheran Church. It's going to be wonderful music, a lot of fun to sing, especially for the basses, because we've got lots of really big bass parts. So go online, cherrycreekchorale.org, and get your tickets. I think we're going to sell out, so you should probably get a ticket right away.
What time is it?
7:30 at Bethany Lutheran on Friday and Saturday nights.
Welcome. Okay. Jim, Kelly, do you want to introduce your guest?
We don't know rapid. Rapid.
This is my wife of 57 and a half years. Want to say anything?
That's great. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Leo, you want to introduce our other new guest that
Yeah,
surprised us totally today?
so stand up. This is Jeannie. I met her just walking in. She said hello and she found us on the website. And you can introduce and say a couple things about yourself and Rover.
Oh, great. Yes, I know your club is from your clubs, two clubs in Loveland, because they annually they have in Loveland they have annual that's a show, fundraising event called Colorado Governors Art Show. And my husband, who is an artist, and participate in this show. And this year, and went during the appreciation dinner and heard about your Rotary Club. They said, we have a club in Highlands Ranch as well, and you should check out from their website. I'm so glad I did. And today when was walking, back, the first is great, and I'm sorry. Wow. And then later on, I met so many, like including Jim and Elizabeth and Jeannie, and they're so welcoming all the way, and especially Maria and Bill, so welcoming. And
memorable.
thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. I hope you do come back and visit some more. Mr. Rotarian, well, he's not really visiting, but it's nice to have Joel Johnson from our morning group having lunch with us today. New member, Shannon O'Brien, has been officially approved by the board. The same old note, we have clipboard circulated. Please try to, if you haven't seen them, we got multiple ones going around. Check them. One note, you heard about this? What's that?
Peter's back.
Oh, Peter's back.
Yes.
Great to see you back in Colorado. What have you been going through? That is true. Welcome back. Good to see members that haven't been with us a while. When other things happen in their lives. Just a note, the sunglasses that Bill talked about, he will meet you after the meeting for ones that want them.
In the parking lot.
See Bill after meeting, and all the money he raises goes to the foundation.
There's still 2 for 40.
2 for 40. Hey, we're gonna have Sue Bradley. She's gonna introduce herself and be the program.
I'm so talented. You are.
Okay, let's go. This is time, your yearly reminder about this wonderful organization called OLLI, which is Education for People Over 55. And yes, we are alive and well, and we are online, but better yet, we are also in person. So for our winter term, we have 39 in-person classes, 105 online classes, and 12 webinars. So to give you a little flavor of what the classes are like, here's a segment that I did a few years ago titled Just 2 Words. But those words are the epitome of post-World War II, swinging, euphoric, and larger than lifestyle. The Rat Pack.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go back to the other side of the millennium into the 1950s and 60s to meet three of the hippest, coolest of cool and their two sidekicks. Sinatra, Dino, and Sammy were the tight core. Lawford and Bishop all often came along for the ride. And this is how they roll.
Love breaks through the trees, singing weird melodies, and they make the start of the blues. And from a jail came a wail, from a down the heart is frail, and they call that the start of the blues. From a whippoorwill, how about that? Oh, shut it on till it was born. I'll call you if I need you. Till it was born. Get out of the way. And then they nursed it, and they rehearsed it. How does it feel to sit in the back of the bus? Give Dean a chance.
So jokes, pratfalls, antics, and all of it was ad-lib. It must have driven those producers mad. So they were bar rats, skirt chasers, high rollers, and hellraisers. And they were at the peak of their careers in the 60s. They lived the life. They literally rock and rolled all night and partied every day, staying out late, then hitting the spa for a little bit of rejuvenation, baby. And after that, it was off to the golf course. Dino rivaling Bing Crosby in his devotion to the sport. So why were they so cool is the question. It's hypothesized that they were on the downside of the peak of the American macho male, what with the peace, love, and understanding of the hippie generation knocking at the door. Others say it was the advent of Vegas and they were the kings. Yet another source, this from Drunkard magazine, thinks that they were the primal embodiment of the notion that we are not put on this earth to toil until death, but rather we are here to swing, and swing they did. So who are these guys? Old Blue Eyes started in the 40s with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, but you can't keep a good man down, and off he went on to a recording career, The Stuff of Dreams. Though he couldn't touch today's gigantic record sales of, say, the rock stars, he sold over 250 million records in his time. The man is a legend, one of the greatest idols of the 20th century. His modest smile, vulnerable blue eyes, and singing was his forte. He lit the flames of frenzied fandom that characterized mid-century pop music. It wasn't the Beatles who drove the fans mad outside of the studio. It was Sinatra where all this started. This is where the term Bobby Soxers came from. This is a clip from the movie titled Revelry with Beverly, 1943.
Playing for you if I were still greeting you with Beverly. He's one of my favorite singers, Frank Sinatra, singing one of my favorite songs, Night and Day.
here to stardom, where he went on to a huge film, TV, nightclub, an iconic level career. Now, who can forget the comedy team of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis? It was a new concept. It was a fresh idea in the 1950s, teaming up a very handsome, smooth, ultra cool lounge singer with a funny guy, his antithesis. So surprisingly, Lewis was considered as the talent in those days, and they were huge. They shot 15 films from 1956 to 66. Eventually, Dino broke up the party, and being a natural-born comedian, he went on to a lucrative film and recording career. He often starred alongside of Frank Sinatra, which solidified both their friendship and their partnership. Now, some myth busting here. Dino was a dedicated family man to his wife, Jeannie, and their 8 kids.
Oh my goodness.
But to be sure, his career thrived throughout his life. So my guess is he wasn't home all that much, at least 8 kids were. Dino's drinking was all part of the act, and he played the drunken miscreant to a T.
Like you just remember, a drink never hurt nobody at all. You just remember the great words of Mr. Joey Lewis. He says, "You're not drunk if you can lay on the floor without holding on." Joey and I were together at my home about 2 weeks ago. We were at my den one morning, swimming, and he mixed himself a peculiar drink, and I said, "What are you drinking down there, Joe?" And he looked down at me. He said, "Scotch and carrot juice." I said, "Why?" He said, "I get drunk when I see good." I want to say one thing in all seriousness. I feel sorry for you people that don't drink. I mean it, because when you wake up in the morning, that's as good as you're going to feel all day. Well, they're all waiting to come on. Let's do 6 or 7 more and we'll get right off. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow.
That song, Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime, is what knocked the Beatles' A Hard Day's Night off of the Billboard #1. All that said, Dino did have a lounge, or a lodge. Here it is, right down there. You can see it down in the corner. He called it a lodge. So anyway, if you remember the TV series 77 Sunset Strip, their parking lot was right next to Dino's lodge, so you saw that every week. Sammy Davis was a talented man. His charisma flowed. He started at age 3 and he grew up on the road doing vaudeville, circuit dancing with his dad. This clip is almost 90 years old.
Michael Jackson.
After a stint in the Army, Sammy became an overnight sensation following his nightclub act at Ciro's in West Hollywood. He sang, he danced, and he did impersonations, and that was pretty cool. Soon after, he was asked to perform at the 1951 Academy Awards. His song and dance also led him to the Great White Way, so he's the one who added Broadway to the Rat Pack's huge spectrum of talent. He always had a ciggy in his hand, and that's why Sinatra nicknamed him Smokey, after Smokey the Bear. Like Dino, Sinatra and Sammy were very tight from the get-go. Sammy was a huge supporter and contributor to the civil rights movement. He refused to perform anywhere that practiced racial segregation, and he brought along his posse. Frank and Dino also joined the crusade and contributed heavily to the whole cause. As a result, hotels from Miami Beach to Vegas began to loosen their segregation rules and practiced integration. Sammy was close to MLK and performed endless fundraisers. For his efforts, he was inducted into the NAACP Hall of Fame. It's interesting to watch some of this old footage of the Rat Pack. There were no filters whatsoever in those days. They would poke fun at blacks, Jews, Italians, Polish people, white people. Anyone and everyone was fair game. Here at the beginning of this, he's referring to Sinatra, calling him up.
This way, he just picked up a phone and said, "Be there." I immediately called Martin Luther King, and he gave me the okay, and I came. No, I really don't, because I go like you. When somebody says, "Be there," I'm ready to march. Yeah, baby. They take no chances, boy. You know. I go do benefits, I march with everybody. I found myself marching with some cats with some pillowcases on their head one day. My conductor, George Rhodes, went like this in the sidelines. "I think you marching with the wrong group." "I know you colored and Jewish, and this is ridiculous." Oh, incidentally, let me say this now, and I make a joke about myself, so you know. I admit this fully. It is true that I'm an American Negro who is, I have adopted Judaism as a faith. Everybody knows that, they all the comics make jokes about it. And I do it in self-defense. And I would also like to let you know something that you're not aware of. My mother is a Puerto Rican. My mother's maiden name was Elvira Sanchez. This is true, Ennis. And so that means I'm colored, Jewish, and Puerto Rican. When I move into a neighborhood, I wipe it out.
I've thought a lot about Sammy's comedic approach to the civil rights movement, and he mostly played to white audiences. So he made light of things, I think, that made him different, and perhaps he gave other people a chance to see that there weren't that many differences. And did you notice he called himself an American Negro, not African American or none? Anyway, I thought that was interesting. These guys were everywhere. They had solo film careers, partners film careers. Sinatra won an Academy Award for the film From Here to Eternity. It's said that he wasn't a looker, but he had a lasting screen presence and more than enough raw magnetism to be a movie star. So just look at some of these movies, Sergeant 3, the Rio Bravo, Cannonball Run. It's just interesting to see the different types that they did. And not just film. Dino also mixed in TV and was huge from 65 to 84 with not only his variety show, but with the celebrity roasts that he did, being one of the most successful series in TV history. And of course, who made appearances at these things? Of course, you guessed it, Frank and Sammy. Actually, they both had short-lived TV series as well. The entire Rat Pack was in Ocean's 11, where reputations were made.
He's the quiet guy in the middle of it all. He's the guy with the big idea. He's calling a summit meeting of his own, and it's going to be a summit to top them all. Now, all he needs are 11 men, like, say, 11 ex-paratroopers from his old outfit. And you'd be amazed where you can find an ex-paratrooper these days. You look in a bar, and there's Harmon playing alcoholic piano. Or you turn up DSM winner Josh in a fleet of trash trucks. Jimmy Foster is sure to be wherever there's the most of anything. A guy like Bergdorf's been playing some very long odds. And Mushy's sticking close to the money. But when Danny called, they came. And what they heard was a plan of independent initiative and individual enterprise to stir the spirit of every swinging citizen.
These guys literally ran the entertainment industry in those days. So things really got cooking for our guys when they were booked together to perform at the Sands Hotel and Casino in Vegas. It was called The Summit. It was a raucous, antic-filled performance of wild and crazy humor, and the audiences lapped it up. If you had if one had a gig and the others were in town, they'd bust in.
This song has always held a very special spot in my heart. It was the first song I ever recorded. Hey there. Yes. I've never made a move.
You want to laugh, Sam? Go out and sit in the audience.
Hey there.
What the hell you want, Sam? Baby.
Run to you. You think someday she will come to you. Better forget her.
So to this day, when people think about Vegas, they think of Frank and the Rat Pack striding through the sands like they owned the place. And in Frank's case, he did own a piece of it. As the director Billy Wilder once said, wherever Frank is, electricity permeates the air. It's like Mac the Knife is in town and the action is starting. Oh, speaking of Mac the Knife.
Oh, the shark bait has such teeth there, and it shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has old Maggie, babe, and it keeps it out of sight. You know when that shark bites with his teeth, babe, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy glows where's old Maggie, babe, so there's never a trace of red. Now on the sidewalk, ooh, Sunday morning, lies a body just oozing light, and someone sneaking round the corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife?
That was one of my favorite 60s hits. Bobby Darin was on the fringe of the pack. They would pick up friends along the way, co-stars, people at the same recording studios, Vegas strip acts, Curtis, Crosby, Bennett, Carson, Gleason, Lemon. The Rat Pack hung out with the who's who of Hollywood. And the most illustrious fringe Rat Pack member of all was President John, well, not president, was John Kennedy in the day. Sinatra still holds the title of the most famous headliner in Vegas history, and Sammy, number 3. They have owned these titles for what, 50 years? And between Frank and Sammy was Liberace. What? He's the one who broke up the Backpacks Run? Mac the Knife lyrics weren't too far off in describing these guys. It's rumored that Dino had ties with Sam Giancano's Chicago gang, but we know Sinatra was connected, surprisingly, to Al Capone's outfit. Ultimately, this is the connection that blew up his relationship with the Kennedys. Now, these dudes were looking good. A suit, a fedora, the ultimate was a tux. It was like their second skin. They always thought a well-fit tux would transform any man into whomever he wanted to be. And the accoutrement? Cigarettes and a cocktail, usually a glass full of bourbon. Bob Martin's outfit on Saturday night would well have fit into this room. Now, you might be wondering who the skirts were that the women that hung out with the Rat Pack. McLean, Garland, Novak, Dickinson, Hepburn, Bacall, Taylor, Horn, Gardner, Lee. These were huge names in the celebrity world. But of course, we all know the biggest one of the day was Mary. In one movie, Shirley MacLaine was sharing a house with the Rat Packers while they were doing the film shoot. And she was known to say, "How many times did I answer the door to find the boys had ordered cannolis to be delivered by private plane?" So these chicks perhaps spent evenings with the Rat Packers in a pad that looked a lot like this: orange chair, shag carpet, bottles of champagne, a martini bar, a record player, and probably ashtrays. It looks like the 60s, right? Mad Men style and old school cool. I sifted through so many Sinatra videos, but I think Frank says it all in this song, because the Rat Pack did hold all the strings in the 60s.
I've got the world on a string, and I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life I'm in love. I've got a song that I sing, I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, and you see I'm in love. Life's a beautiful thing, long as I hold the string. I feel silly so and so if I should ever let it go.
So there you have it, a step back into the swinging 60s and a sample of some of the fun classes that you'll experience when you decide to join Ollie. So you better sign up. Oh boy, am I getting something?
Yes. It's a tradition for the programs to thank you for being part of the noon meeting. And the donation has been made to the Rotary International Polio Plus in your fund. And you've heard it many times about, because the Gate Foundation matches 2-to-1, the donation can be used to vaccinate 30 children.
Thank you.
You also get to draw the 50-50. And you know the rules, the last three.
I know those rules. They're never mine. Okay, 172. All right.
Well, that was very good entertainment. Very nice program.
You liked it? Very nice.
Next, I would like to have Noel Johnson and Tom McHugh come forward. It was nice to have both y'all here at the same time. Tom, I want to honor you for your Paul Harris. It is a Paul Harris +5. And Joel, you're a Paul Harris +2. And thank you. Next, we want to talk, oh yes, got plenty of time. Kevin.
Yo.
You want to tell us about the Cole Santa Claus?
Yeah, so once a year for the new members, just so you know, we bring in kids from, I've never been told I need the microphone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Not
the Zoom people.
We actually have 2 people on Zoom today. So.
Hello, Zoom. Can you hear me?
Hey, so once a year we do this thing and we go to Kohl's with kids that are definitely less fortunate than most of us. There you go. Like, jump right in there, Jana, huh? All right.
We want to hear this.
All right, so once a year we go to kids with definitely less fortunate than us, and we pair up Rotarian, who becomes the elf, with the kids, and using the Rotary funds, head on into Kohl's and buy them stuff. This year we had 20 some odd kids. It came out to over $3,000 and stuff for the kids. And you might put it on your list. Most people find it very heartwarming. They're not getting phones and things. The kids are usually buying socks, usually buying underwear, things like that. These kids come from CASA that you might be familiar with, Eagle High School. Those are the kids who are actually working and going to school at night and hopefully on the place. So it was really great. Hand to yourself, please clap and clap that. It'll definitely be next year. Next meeting will be the thank you, and then can I mention the blanket thing? So we're collecting. Well, the other thing we're doing for some of the new folks, we have an Afghan family we're helping to relocate, and they're looking for some blankets. And so some of you have brought in blankets. If you did, see me after the meeting, and I'll let you carry them up and put them in my car. So we'll be all set. Thanks.
Next week too, on blankets?
You don't say. I believe so. Let me check.
Next, Jan, you want to tell us about Hometown Holiday?
Last weekend, on Friday night, we participated in the Highlands Ranch Community Association, HRCA, Hometown Holiday. This is the second year that we have done this, and I believe last year was the first year after COVID that they were able to pull this off again. But it was down in town center, and they have lots of nonprofits that have their canopies, tents up, and were giving things away. There was Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, of course, for pictures with the team.
And reindeer.
And reindeer, real live reindeer. And this is our second year to participate with our Highlands Ranch Rotary brand new canopy and our tablecloth, so everybody knew who we were. And we did cups of hot cider, 300 of them we served.
Wow.
I think Nancy did about 250.
Somebody she drank?
So the key to this is you have to have a big coffee urn to heat this cider up, but it can't be an urn that has coffee in it from before. And those are a little bit hard to come by, and you definitely need to reserve them miles in advance, months, which I did. We learned the hard way last year on that one. But it was really, really fun. The kids are just, fabulous to wander around through all this Merry Christmas. Bill Leeper and his lovely wife Susan were our reindeer and elf this year.
Didn't she make a cute elf?
She did make a cute elf.
I married up.
She did. She did, and froze to death, though. I don't think she anticipated how cool it was gonna be. But anyway, it was lots of fun. Claudia and Guy were there to help us set up, and thank you much. Bill Medlicott and 6 of our interactors from Highlands Ranch, Mountain Vista High School were there, 2 different shifts. And thank God the last shift was there, but when we went to take that tent down, Tom and I just couldn't have done that by ourselves. There's no way. Anyway, weather was great until about 6:30, and then the wind came in. And that kind of shut everything down a little bit early, but it was really fun, and we were happy to participate with HRCA again this year. It was, Scott was there this year too. He did a great job, along with Bill, of talking about Rotary. And Scott's comment to me was, this was a wonderful participation in a community effort to give the word of Rotary around. We did have our inflatable there, which is up for most of it. The wind, yeah, till the wind picks up. Okay, and along with community service, I want to talk about this event coming up on Saturday, December 17th. So that's a week from this Saturday. It's the We Don't Waste Mobile Market event. Terry Cohn normally talks to you about this. Terry and Arthur are on a cruise currently, so I said I'd step up for her. It will be at the North Middle School in Aurora. It's a 3-hour deal, 12:15 to 3:30. We need 2 more volunteers to help out on this, just 6 of us that they need to go out and help distribute food to people that come to this mobile market. Terry just thinks it's awesome to work at this, and it's so much fun to put our wonderful selves out there to help people in need. So think quick. I'd like 2 more volunteers. Bill Leeper, you're coming?
Yes.
Along with Robin Aguilar is also signed up. And then Terry and Arthur will be there too. Tom and Ted could go, except for the fact that my granddaughter is graduating with her doctorate in PT that afternoon. Just a thought there. Anyway, so we'd really like to fill up 2 more spots. Let me know if you think you could go a week from Saturday. All righty.
Thank you.
How's your blinking lights? Are they driving everybody crazy?
I don't know. I don't
we
see
like
it.
it. It's festive. Keep it on.
That's gotta be Jan's necklace.
They
Gotta
both
be
have
Jan.
She has her own.
She has her solidified enough.
Jane, you had something about the Christmas party.
Yes.
Yay for James.
Well, I did get the entertainment.
Look at that, look over there.
That's
Well,
all I
I'm
do.
filming your backside, so.
Oh, don't film my
Well,
backside.
that's
Yes, it worked out great. We got the room, everything worked out. It always does, so might as well not worry about it. And the entertainment, we have to say that I think we need a standing ovation for the entertainment. It was absolutely fantastic. Over there, that's like a triangle, if someone, that's yours, okay. There's also some silverware over there, darn it, I was hoping no one would clean it, like it. There's some silverware over there, please go over there and take your stuff, because I don't wanna take it home again. There are 3 more centerpieces over there with the gnomes and the little stuff. They're $10 a piece, so if anybody wants to take a gnome and the silver stuff that goes around it, please, just give me $10 and take one. All right, because these, I bought them with Rotary, so it's not like they're mine or anything, but anyhow, a couple other things real fast. We are having and we've mentioned a couple of times, Shrin has put together a nighttime dinner on the 28th of January, which is a Saturday night at an Indian restaurant.
Thursday night.
No,
Thursday night.
Thursday night, 26th.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, oh, I thought we originally said it was gonna be a Saturday night. Oh, good. It's even better. Yeah, it's a nighttime meeting. We have a slight situation that they can, in the room that we will be in, seats 40 people. So if you are coming and your spouse is coming or your friend's coming or whatever, it's gonna fill up fast. And so either email me right away that you're definitely coming. And if you are definitely coming, then come or cancel, because we always have people who just don't show up to these meetings. And we can't have this for this Indian dinner. So if you definitely wanna come, email me right away. On January 5th, if I still have some room left, then I will send a sign-up sheet. Does everybody understand that?
The dinner is on the 26th?
26th, Thursday the 26th at night.
That's Australian Day. Australian Day,
Sorry,
hell no.
it's an Indian day for us. You know.
Jane, for that dinner that night, can you explain the parking?
Oh, shut up. I will send out an email to tell you exactly where they are.
No, she won't, I will.
I will write an email and send it to Nancy, she'll send it out. No, would you please take the bus? Hey, did you get the laundry done the other day? Oh, you didn't come to that thing. Oh, by the way, that's something else, I'm sorry. Does anybody else have any questions about, yes?
The name of the Indian restaurant is called Garnish.
Garnish, or whatever. I will, Nancy, Robin is gonna make a flyer, all the information, she's gonna send it to Nancy, and Nancy will send it out. But email me right away if you wanna come, because like I said, I'm sorry, only 40. Yes, someone else had a question? Peter?
No, I just wanted to say, since this email idea with all the information as you do so nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I try real hard and then send it to Nancy. Okay, there was something else. Friendship dinners will be in February, and we'll talk about that.
Tim had it handed.
Tim,
What's the name of the restaurant and where's it located?
I am going to, Nancy's going, Robin's going to make a complete email about time, place, parking, everything.
In Island Ranch, is it in Denver?
Oh, no, it's in. Where?
Here.
Centennial. It's in Centennial. It's not very far away. No, it's not India, really. Debbie, Debbie Novotny, she always has. Mentioned about Jamlac having a big fundraiser on last Friday night, downtown at the Laundry, which is really a nice place, Bill. Should have gone. And so we gave $2,500. The Millers and the Karskis went, and Darren from Bacchus and Darren matched. If they raised $35,000, Darren with Bacchus and Schenker would match it. So he matched 35.
Nice.
They brought it 35. They made $91,000.
All right.
Nikki, my daughter is the developmental, development person. She makes all the money expensive. And so it was pretty exciting. It was really fun. We had a good time, right, Steve?
It was a great time.
Yeah. So anyhow, that was really wonderful, and that's all I have.
That was excellent.
That was great.
Next, we're gonna have Tammy.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. I have two announcements. But first I want to say how much I enjoyed the program, and yes, Sinatra. Anyhow, he makes me swoon. First off, I sent an email out to membership, just wanted to reiterate that the Rotary Colorado Highlands Ranch Pediatric Mental Health Committee will be hosting a family and friends Zoom presentation of our Colorado Rotary Endowed Fellowship for Pediatric Mental Health that we're working on with Children's Hospital. If you haven't seen the presentation, if you're new to the club, if you're interested in seeing it again, if you have family members that may be interested in seeing this or supporting this program, there's a Zoom link that was attached to that email, or you can email me and I will send the Zoom link out again to you. So that is scheduled for next week. It's December 15th, 6:30 to probably 8. We won't go that long, but if there's a lot of questions, we just want to have time to answer them, and want to make people aware of that. Also, for those wishing to support this effort, we have a committed benefactor, a member of our club here, who is matching online gifts up to $20,000 in support of the endowment. So every dollar counts, $2, $25, $200, whatever you feel compelled to give. It's greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Secondly, I wanted to call attention to a really fantastic opportunity for our club. And I am happy to coordinate this, although it would be great if someone else who feels like this is something they might be interested in doing along with me. So on January 16th, that's Martin Luther King's birthday, there is an annual parade that happens down at City Park. It's called the MLK Marade. It's the combination of a march and a parade. And it's to commemorate and celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. The Rotary Club of Denver Southeast is planning on participating this year and has invited all district clubs to join them. They are asking clubs to bring their banners to march together. I don't think the parade length is very long, but this has been going on for many, many years. And Rotary, since they've adopted a new initiative supporting DEI, everybody knows what that is, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. They thought this would be a good way for us to really show our support for both what Dr. Martin Luther King's ideas have been and have done for our country and really the world. So just by a show of hands, is there anybody interested in participating on January 16th? It's from 10 to 12, City Park Parade March. That would be great. Okay, good. I'll send this out via email and maybe circulate a clipboard so we can get names, and I'm happy to coordinate that. So that's it.
Tammy,
Yeah.
talking about the pediatric mental health.
Yes.
So
Come here,
far.
Shane, come on, Matt. I was gonna do that, but then I thought maybe you really ought to, since
No.
you're our North Star.
So far, we have raised about $225,000 towards our $500,000 goal. So we would like to wrap it up. We would like to wrap it up by September of 2023. So that way we can make this fund available to the Children's Hospital so that they can have a fellow in place in January of 2024. Thank you all for your
Oh.
A Rotary Fellow.
Rotary Fellow.
Rotary Fellow.
Yeah.
He'll have the wheel or she and all of that.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Claudia.
Just an update on the IFCS Kids Toys. When we started this, I signed us up for 15 children, and they have already been sponsored, and Nancy let me know that we were out of kids, so I signed up for 5 more, because IFCS, Sandra said they had about 70 kids yet that needed to get their toys. So of the 5 I just signed us up for, 3 are left. So if you want to sponsor a child, all you have to do is go to that website that I sent out, click it, and it tells you exactly what to do. It's really easy. And if more than 3 are sponsored, then I'll call Sandra and we'll add a few more. So thank you for your generosity, those who already started. What now?
Sorry, I'm trying to get Tom's attention.
Oh, Tom, you're welcome.
Next thing on the list. Next thing on the list.
My wife.
I want to make sure it gets around so
Okay.
we can send it with Donna. What's wrong with?
We have Betsy Alexander that's been in the hospital with some back pain. And so there is a card going around. Please get it signed.
Right here, Steve.
And so and Donna Kelly can take it with her, because she's the one going to pick her up when she leaves the hospital. So, and let y'all be aware of that. Need to do something about that. Next is, it was great to see Gary Danny at the party. How's he doing this week? Any comment?
Excellent.
Okay, good. I see Zig has already left. Jan, you talked with him. How's Christine doing?
Talked with him last week.
Everything he told you last week, he just told me again today. She's doing quite well. She's on her last go-round of chemo coming up. The cancer is, they're not spotting any more cancer. So they're very positive about the outcome of what she's been going through. She has her good days and her good weeks and her not so good weeks in between chemo, etc. I thought Zig looked a little bit less than perky today, but I'm thinking it's taking its toll on him too. But it is good news, especially going into the holidays.
Yes.
We'd like to get that card circulated, so I,
Yeah.
Peter has to know. Stuck on this table.
Please, yeah, please give me that card if you can.
Yes, in the penalty box.
The next is, we're gonna have Bob Larson. His favorite thing to do.
Happy
Who are your helpers?
Oh, yeah, I need my helper Tom here. And, well, he's coming up. I'll take just a quick minute for a story. I knew this gal in high school up in Minot, North Dakota.
Oh, I don't want to hear.
Who was a great gal, and I ended up taking her to the high school homecoming dance or something like that. Anyway, she went off and I went off and I didn't see her for about 15 years. And then somehow we got in touch and she told me she was in Las Vegas. And I said, well, we're going to a financial conference in Las Vegas. We'll be there and such, and we'd like to visit you. And she said, well, great. So we got out there, went to their home. They had a beautiful home in Las Vegas. And I met her husband, a guy named Bart, and just kind of getting to know him. I said, what do you do, Bart? He said, well, I've got a distributorship. I said, oh, what do you distribute? Well, he said, liquor. And I said, really? Where do you distribute it? Well, he said, pretty much all of Las Vegas. So he had kind of a glowing business there. And as the night went on, they started telling us about how in his connections with the Las Vegas casinos and so on, he got to know the Rat Pack and had them to his house for many parties. And he said the stories about their parties are definitely true. A rather sad note to that, though, was that shortly thereafter, back in my flying days, I used to strap a departure chart on my leg. You just strap it on. Now they use iPads, but in those days we used written charts. And it shows how you leave an airport, what pattern you take if you're on instrument conditions.
Up, right?
And, pardon?
You have to go up.
Yeah. Step one is to go up. And this was almost as bad. This guy, the pilot was taking Frank Sinatra's mother to a party at my friend's house in Las Vegas. About 6 o'clock that night, she was leaving Palm Springs, and the pilot had put the departure chart upside down on his leg. And so everything was backwards. And when he took off, it called for a left turn, and with the chart being upside down, he turned right into a mountain. And my friend was at the party when they got the word that Frank Sinatra's mother had been killed in that plane crash. But anyway, she said they had some great parties. So today we have Argentine wine from the Mendoza appellation, and this is from the Mendel Vineyard. This is a quality wine. Tom, I need you to take it around and be my spotter. And this comes from Meg's private collection. I normally get my wines that I bring here from Total Wines, but I didn't have time. I've used up all the truckload I bought before. So I begged a bottle from Meg out of her collection. So this is a quality 2017 Cabernet Sauvignon Argentine wine. So here we go. I'm getting 30, would have been 40, bid a month, $40 do it. I got 40 now, 50. Anybody $50 do it? $50. I got 50 now, 60. Anybody 60, bid a month, $60 do it. Dollar do it. 60. I need 70. Anybody 70? I need 70. Let's raise some money for the club. I got 70. Now $80 do it, dollar buyer would have been $80, dollar buyer would have been $80, bid them on $80. I need $80, dollar buyer. I got 80, I need 90, anybody 90, bid them on $90, do it, I got 90, now 100, anybody 100. Bid them on 100, I got 100, I need 110. I need 110, do it, dollar buyer would have been a 110, dollar buyer would have been 110. 110, I need 110. How about it, Steve, I need 110. There we go, I got 110, 120, anybody 120, bid them on $120, do it, would have been 120. I got 120, now 130, bid them on $130, dollar buyer would have been a 130. Bid them on $130, dollar buyer would have been a 130 now. I got 130, I need 140, anybody 140. This is a great wine for your Christmas party. It goes with poultry, fish, or chicken, and, or beef, I should say. 140. I got 140. 140, I got 140, anybody 150, I need 150, bid them on $150, do it, bid them on 150, 145, anybody 145. Bid them on $145, do it, I got 145, anybody 145. I got 140, $145, buyer.
145.
I got 145. 145, very good, anybody 150, bid on. Okay, we got people here who know a quality bottle of wine. I need 150, anybody 150, bid them on $150, do it, would have been a 150. $150 buyer, okay, 145 going once, 145 going twice. So, 150 in, well, she's in a 150, I'm sorry, I need 155. Anybody 155? 150, I got 150, anybody 155? All right, 150 going once, 150 going twice. Sold, $150.
Guy, she doesn't have her checkbook, make sure you bill her. Shred.
All that goes to the foundation. Last Saturday night was fun with the Christmas party. It's great seeing everyone there. And
Happy bucks. I don't think we have time.
we're trying to get there. So, we got a couple of minutes, well, we're over time. Anybody have some happy bucks back there? Bill?
Hey, December has only got 4 weekends, and Christmas is sort of